In January 2008, the Public Broadcasting Service released a 2-hour documentary about Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. Its subtitle, Good, Evil, and the Presidency, hinted at why few television programs had explored his life up until then. Despite his remarkable accomplishments as the greatest hero of the War of 1812, the first American president to come from an area west of the Appalachians, the first president to become elected via a direct appeal to the voting masses, and the founder of the Democratic Party. Jackson may have gained massive popularity in his time. He was one of the country's first national celebrities. As a totem of military heroism, an embodiment of America's beloved rags-to-riches narrative, and the mythic promises of wealth and self-reinvention on its western frontier. But he is also a reminder of the long, dark shadows in the country's past. As an Army general, Jackson added large swaths of southern lands to the Union after forcefully relocating approximately 100,000 Native Americans from the southeast regions of the United States to Indian Territory west of the Mississippi River. After that, he and his friends purchased parts of those southern lands to build highly profitable cotton plantations that ran on slave labor. He was the first American president to be born in poverty, but he also gained immense wealth through the slave-based plantation economy. To African Americans and Native Americans, his legacy inspires terror, trauma, and exploitation, not honor, nationalism, democracy, and pride. Jackson was also a divisive figure on account of his personality, politics, and policies. James Parton, a popular 19th century biographer who has been described as the father of American biography, has outlined the many dualities of his legacy succinctly and poetically. Andrew Jackson, I am given to understand, was a patriot and a traitor. He was one of the greatest of generals and wholly ignorant of the art of war. A writer brilliant, elegant, eloquent, and without being able to compose a correct sentence or spell words of 4 syllables. The first of statesmen, he never devised, he never framed a measure. He was the most candid of men and was capable of the profoundest dissimulation. A most law-defying, law-obeying citizen. A stickler for discipline, he never hesitated to disobey his superior. A democratic aristocrat, an urbane savage, an atrocious saint. Whether one regards Jackson's legacy with fear or admiration, there's no denying that American politics became more democratic during his era. The extent to which this phenomenon can be credited mainly to Jackson himself and the Democratic Party is nevertheless debatable. Voting was still only available to white men and had only recently become available to white men of all classes. As the requirements for property ownership, tax payments, and other restrictions were abolished, the ideal of allowing the entire population to have a choice in deciding on their leader became a step closer to reality. Historians now refer to the Jacksonian democracy as a democratic movement that advanced racial and egalitarian ideals that countered the elitism of the era, while acknowledging that the reforms it ushered mainly benefited white men. Daniel Feller, an American historian who has published 3 books on Andrew Jackson, has pointed out that Jackson's legacy is inseparable from America's. He is an inescapable, quintessential American. But of what kind? Those who wish to celebrate Jackson will inevitably find facts and ideals to support their case, as will those who seek to advance an argument for why he should be despised and apologized for. At the end of the day, Jackson was a complex figure who inhabited equally complex times. The Jackson era was a period of time that would bewilder most modern Americans with its rapid technological change and ideological heterogeneity. This was a time when Americans would begin to stop seeing themselves as Virginians or New Yorkers and start envisioning themselves as being part of a new republic,